I have a very, very bad canker sore, and we're recording Reddit videos. There's not much more I love than turning on a Reddit reading video and then going and doing something miscellaneous while listening to it. So I'm going to be experimenting with this today and reading some posts that I found on the r/AmItheA subreddit. A classic, who doesn't know about this subreddit? This is widely experimental and not heavily scripted at all, so bear with me. Let's try this out. Okay, I got my trusty iPad here that I'm going to be reading off of. So starting off strong with, am I the asshole for refusing to host my husband's best friend and his family? Ooh. My husband has a childhood friend, both the same age. This friend had his wedding during COVID in 2020. Ooh. Strict measures, you know the drill. At the time, we were living abroad, so crossing borders was nearly impossible. When he got the invite, we had only been together for a few months, so it was a fresh relationship. They invited him alone. Okay, alright, understandable. I was working in a COVID ward and managed to get him across the border as a worker in a private car, about an 8-hour journey. Scandalous. I don't know, is that scandalous? And I also got him a PCR test 2 hours before departure. I mention this because the whole arrangement wasn't easy. He attended the wedding with a gift, stayed with his parents, wedding was nearby. 4 years later, we were getting married in Chateau, about 4 hours from both my family and his, so halfway, and invited the friend along with his wife and child. They said they'd come and make a trip out of it, exploring the area. He was the only friend for whom we paid the accommodation right at the venue. Okay. Just like for my family, 5-star hotel. I was already struggling with this, as we had agreed not to cover accommodation for friends. It's also worth noting that this friend is a teacher, and the wedding was on a Saturday, a week before the end of the school year. A few days before the wedding, they called to say they wouldn't come because he didn't get leave for Monday, and it wasn't worth the trip for just a few days. We ended up paying for the room since it was too late to cancel. I mean, I would say make the friend pay for the hotel, since they're the ones who bailed out literally just a few days before the wedding. But it sounds like this person's husband has some kind of bias towards this friend anyways, so...
The Nile is a river in Egypt! Your husband is gay!
I mean, it didn't happen, obviously. We ended up paying for the room since it was too late to cancel. We didn't receive a gift or even a congratulatory card from them. These guys are real pieces of work. Today they wrote saying that they want to visit because they're going to an event in our city and would appreciate accommodation for them and his sister. Oh no. I'm against it because I don't see a reason to take leave, pick them up from the train station, and host them when I don't view them as friends anymore. No contact throughout the year, no birthday or name day wishes. My husband disagrees, saying that it's his best friend and I'm preventing him from seeing him. Am I the asshole? No, definitely not. Like, let's just run through a list here. Not invited to said friend's wedding at the beginning of the story, which granted, they said that it was just a new relationship at the start, so, you know, no grudge at being not invited, but still, nonetheless, not invited to said friend's wedding. Bails out of your wedding, makes you pay for the 5-star hotel accommodations that they did not use and also bailed out of, that you agreed with your husband not to pay for friends' accommodations, so there's that a little bit thrown in there. And then, like, no congratulatory, like, card or anything from the friend. And then they invite themselves to your house to try and weasel their way on in there after not being in contact for, like, what did this person say? Throughout the year, so it's been 1 year. And then your husband gets mad when you're like, no, I don't want to host this person. Your husband gets mad and says that you're preventing him from seeing his best friend. That's just f***ed up. That's messed up. No person that's never gonna watch this video, you are not the asshole. You're not preventing your husband from seeing his friend by any means. Your husband's just being dramatic. To me, it just sounds like the husband's just being a total man baby about the whole thing and doesn't want to just, like, go and meet his friend out for coffee. Like, how about the friend just, like, take that money that they owed you for, like, the 5-star hotel at the beginning of this, like, the whole thing, and then just use that for a 5-star hotel for himself? How about that? Am I the asshole for choosing my career over my brother's kids? Whew, that's a spicy title. For context, I, 28-year-old female, have a brother, 25 male, and he and his wife, 25 female, had twin boys about a year ago. The twins were unexpected, but even so, I would say they transitioned relatively smoothly into parenthood. My brother and his wife were able to take time away from work to raise the twins, while my sister-in-law was able to stay home. My brother had to return to work since they weren't expecting 2 babies. This and the fact that my sister-in-law wasn't working led to her eventually going back to work early as well, which left them the issue of childcare. My brother and sister-in-law both work hard and money was really tight for them, so they asked if I could care for the babies for a few days per week so they could go cut down on costs. So I agreed because it felt like it was something I could do for them and bond with the babies. Yeah, okay, understandable so far. We've had this arrangement going on since my brother and sister-in-law returned to work, and it was fine at first. Work was relatively slow, and I was happy to spend some time with my nephews. However, taking care of them has created a strain not only on myself, but my bank account as well. So they're basically using this person as a free babysitter. A free, like, daycare. Okay, great. My brother and sister-in-law often work late, meaning I am feeding them dinner and taking care of them well into the evening. I haven't put up much of a fuss because I haven't been charging them because of their financial situation. OP is just like an angel. That is like so nice. However, work has progressively been getting more busy and has started to take more attention from me. I was also recently offered a higher position in the company, but it would require me to work fully in person. Ooh. I see where the problem might arise. Today, while I was with my brother, I told him about my promotion and that I would not be able to take care of the twins anymore. He freaked out and called me a terrible sister. Oh my god. Saying that I was abandoning the family, I wasn't really able to explain myself further because he left in a hurry, all angry. A couple hours ago, I received some really nasty messages from my sister-in-law and my parents saying that I am extremely selfish, disgusting, and shameful for choosing work over family. My parents aren't able to help as they live on the other side of the country and are not mobile. Alright, so it's easy for them to say. Yeah, so it's really easy for them to say that because they're not doing a single thing to help out and you're literally raising these kids. I know if I stop helping with childcare, my brother's family will suffer, so now I'm rethinking my decision. Oh. I so hope OP went ahead and took that position because their brother and sister-in-law are just being incredibly selfish using this person as free childcare. I think if this family wanted to settle this disagreement between them like adults, you could have OP, like, on their days off, if they choose to do so, help and take care of the twins for like a couple hours or maybe a full day if they are able to. But overall, the sister-in-law and the brother they have to deal with the twins themselves as they are literally their children. Like, they need to figure it out themselves. They are adults. They're functional. They both have jobs. They just need to figure it out themselves, whether that's actually paying for a daycare or a babysitter. Do not abuse your family, or at least just, pay OP to take care of your children for you. Not the asshole. Obviously. According to Reddit as well. But I already deemed it. I don't need to say it. Alright, am I the asshole? I asked my fiance to get me a drink in bed. This is my first time posting on Reddit, slightly confused by our interaction tonight. As background, we have 4.5-month-old twins that have only just started sleeping through the night, so having time to ourselves again in the evening is a novelty. He works. I look after the twins 5 days a week, 8 to 6. We were settled in bed watching TV. I had brought us up a drink each about an hour before this. I asked him if he would mind grabbing us another drink as I was warm in bed. He said no. I asked why, and he replied that he was also in bed. Okay, fair, I guess. I was a little annoyed, more so because every single morning I bring him a coffee in bed, even when I was pregnant and the smell made me gag. I bring him drinks if I'm in bed and he is thirsty in the bath. I get up to hoover the moths away if they make us uncomfortable. I think my love language is acts of service. No shit. If you read into that sort of stuff. I always thought that doing something like that isn't a big deal if it's for your partner. I told him I was a bit put out, just to be honest with him. He told me he was not my personal slave, and he didn't realize that he had to jump whenever I told him to. Alright, so it doesn't sound like he's asking OP to do this stuff for him. It just sounds like she just goes ahead and does it, except if he's in the bath. Does he tell her to do that? It doesn't sound like it. It doesn't sound like he's asking her to do a lot of this stuff and that she just does it anyways. So already, yeah, he doesn't have to get up and get her a drink, but saying that, how did he word it? He told me he was not my personal slave. That's insane. That's crazy. Okay. Please bear in mind, I have never asked him for a drink in bed before or anything else unreasonable that I can think of. I told him I didn't think of him that way at all. I just told him that if it was the other way around, I'd just do it because it was not something nice. Oh my god, I'm having a stroke. I told him I don't think of him that way at all. I just told him that if it was the other way around, I'd just do it because it was something nice for your partner. He disagreed and said I was just being unreasonable and stupid for getting upset about it. Ooh. This eventually turned into an argument. He told me to ask anyone about it, and I would realize that I'm in the wrong, so I thought maybe Reddit. Is this an issue arising just because we have different ways of expressing love and affection, or is it a deeper issue? Whew. No, OP is not being unreasonable at all, I don't think. Yeah, I think it's a deeper issue because that's just such an insane thing to say to your partner. I'm not your personal slave. That's crazy. Like, Broco just said, no, but, if I was in this situation, if my partner asked me, hey, could you go get me a drink, and they do, all of this kind of stuff for me all the time, I would go and repay it. Oh yeah, sure, you do that for me all the time, let me just go do that for you, because obviously this is OP's love language. I think there needs to be a conversation in the differences of love language, but overall, I think this goes a little bit deeper. I don't think we have enough information about the relationship as a whole to make a full judgment here, but that's crazy. Sounds like the husband's a little crazy. That's wild. I hope they were able to resolve that with the help of the Reddit comment section. My computer won't stop turning off. Alright, final post I have lined up for this video. Am I the asshole for texting my best friend late at night in bed when my husband was there? There's just a lot of issues with husbands. There's just a ton of issues with husbands. I did not do this intentionally. Alright, last night me and my husband were both in bed, getting ready to settle in for the night. He was on his phone asking me to order him something online as I have a free shipment on that website. I ordered him one item and then while he was browsing the website, I replied to a text from my best friend from work, female, sent me. Okay. He got angry saying that I can't even devote a few minutes to him, that it is wrong my best friend is texting me that late at night, etc. That was just worded a little bit readily, or maybe it's me. I said that I didn't do anything wrong, it's my best friend who he has met a few times. He asked me to see the text from the day, counted my replies 28, and asked if I were okay if he was texting someone so often, especially that late at night. I said that he is crazy, thank you, that I'm allowed to have a best friend and to text her as many times during the day as I want, even late at night. I would understand if he was upset over a male friend, but this is crazy. So am I the asshole for texting my best friend? So am I the asshole for texting my best friend late at night in bed when my husband was there? Oh my god. I think this one is pretty self-explanatory. I think this one is pretty self-explanatory. Not the asshole by any means. I don't even know if this is like a communication thing. I think it just sounds like this husband's a little bit crazy. If we're just going purely by what OP said, it sounds like he's just being completely unreasonable and very hostile about the whole thing. And not to mention, the husband was also on the computer browsing a website, so I don't see what the issue is with replying to your best friend while your husband is also doing something else. If you were in the middle of a conversation with him, yeah, I could understand why he'd be a little bit peeved. Maybe that has happened before and he's just lashing out now instead of, communicating about it in the moment while it's a fresh thing that's happening. I don't know, there's not enough information given about the situation, but it just sounds like he's a little crazy, possessive, jealous. Somewhere in between all three of those. I hope you're able to get it resolved. That's really toxic. Okay, I'm done now. If this gets some good traction, I might do some more of these because I'm kind of nosy and I like seeing drama between people from an outside perspective. It's kind of fun. But either way, thank you guys for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day, have a good night. Bye.